Most people chase wealth by adding more hours at work, more side hustles, more investment accounts, more strategies. They're convinced that if they just work harder, hustle longer, or find the perfect opportunity, they'll finally break through to financial freedom. But here's what I discovered after watching hundreds of people struggle with this approach. The wealthy do the opposite. They make one strategic subtraction that changes everything. This isn't about working harder or finding some secret investment. It's about disappearing from the wrong identity entirely. Today, I'm going to show you the single move that shifts you from being an earner to becoming a wealth attractor. This one change rewires how money flows to you. Your current financial identity is a prison you don't even recognize you're living in. Every morning, you wake up and think like someone who has to earn money through effort, time, and energy. This identity runs so deep that even when you try to build wealth, your brain sabotages the attempt. There's a psychological principle called identity homeostasis. Just like your body maintains a consistent temperature, your mind maintains a consistent sense of who you are. When you try to act outside that identity, your brain creates resistance. It whispers things like, people like you don't get rich, or you need to work harder to deserve more money. The middle class falls into what I call the hard work trap. They believe wealth comes from trading more time for more money, so they add another job, start a side business, or work overtime. They're stuck in earning mode, where every dollar requires their direct involvement. This creates neural pathways that reinforce scarcity thinking and active income dependency. Your brain literally wires itself to believe that money only comes through your personal effort. You develop what neuroscientists call learned helplessness around passive income. The idea of money working for you feels foreign, almost wrong. You might even feel guilty about making money without earning it through sweat and struggle. This is why adding more wealth-building strategies fails when your core identity remains unchanged. You can read every investing book, attend every seminar, and follow every guru, but if you still see yourself as someone who earns money rather than creates wealth, you'll unconsciously sabotage your progress. The wealthy operate from a fundamentally different identity framework. They see themselves as wealth creators, not earners. They think in systems, leverage, and multiplication rather than hours and effort. This isn't about being lazy or entitled. It's about understanding that sustainable wealth requires a completely different operating system. Real transformation doesn't happen through addition. It happens through subtraction, through strategic disappearance, through creating a vacuum where your old identity once lived. You need to systematically kill your earner identity before your wealth creator identity can emerge. The specific identity shift you need is from someone who earns money to someone who creates wealth. An earner thinks, how can I make more money? A wealth creator thinks, how can I build systems that generate money? An earner asks, what job pays more? A wealth creator asks, what assets can I acquire or create? Here's how to systematically starve your old financial patterns of attention and energy. First, catch yourself every time you think in terms of trading time for money. When you consider a side hustle, ask yourself, am I thinking like an earner or a wealth creator? If the answer requires your constant presence and effort, you're thinking like an earner. Second, stop consuming content that reinforces the earning mindset. Unsubscribe from newsletters about how to make extra money or side hustles that pay. These keep you trapped in active income thinking. Instead, consume content about investing, business systems, and passive income streams. Third, change your language. Stop saying, I need to make money, and start saying, I need to create wealth. Stop saying, I can't afford it, and start saying, how can I afford it? These linguistic shifts rewire your neural pathways over time. Creating an identity vacuum is uncomfortable because your brain interprets it as a threat to your survival. You might feel anxious, guilty, or confused. This is normal. Your old identity is fighting for its life. The key is recognizing this resistance as a sign you're on the right track. The lazy wealth principle is simple. Systems work while you don't. Wealthy people understand that the goal isn't to work harder, it's to work smarter by building systems that generate income without their constant involvement. They buy assets that appreciate. They create businesses that run without them. They invest in things that compound over time. To disappear from active income thinking, start asking different questions. Instead of, how can I earn more? Ask, what can I own that generates income? Instead of, what skills should I develop? Ask, what systems can I build or buy? Instead of, how can I work more efficiently? Ask, how can I work less while earning more? This feels uncomfortable because it challenges everything you've been taught about money and success. Society conditions us to believe that hard work equals reward, that struggle equals worthiness. But the wealthy know that struggling for money is actually a sign you're doing it wrong. The resistance you feel is your old identity trying to pull you back to familiar patterns. It will tell you that passive income is unrealistic, that you need to earn your keep, that there's something wrong with making money without direct effort. These thoughts aren't truth. They're just your old programming fighting to survive. Push through this resistance by consistently choosing a wealth creator response over the earner response. When your brain suggests working more hours, choose to research investment opportunities instead. When it suggests getting another job, choose to learn about business systems. Every time you choose the wealth creator path, you weaken the old neural pathways and strengthen the new ones. The 3 pillars of wealth creator identity are leverage, systems, and detachment. Leverage means using other people's time, money, or resources to multiply your results. Systems means building processes that work without your constant involvement. Detachment means making decisions based on logic and opportunity, not emotion or immediate needs. Daily practices reinforce your new financial operating system. Every morning, ask yourself, what wealth-creating action can I take today? This might be researching investment opportunities, automating a business process, or learning about passive income streams. The key is consistency, not perfection. Start thinking like someone who has money working for them. Wealthy people don't think about their hourly wage because they don't have one. They think about return on investment, cash flow, and asset appreciation. When you consider any financial decision, ask, will this make me money while I sleep? If the answer is no, question whether it's worth your time. Your old earning patterns will try to resurface, especially during stressful periods. You might catch yourself thinking about getting a second job or working overtime. When this happens, pause and redirect. Ask yourself, how would a wealth creator solve this problem? The answer usually involves building something, buying something, or optimizing something, not working more hours. The compound effect of identity-based wealth building is exponential. When you consistently make decisions from your wealth creator identity, you build momentum. You develop what I call wealth vision, the ability to spot assets, systems, and leverage points that earners completely miss. Make decisions from your future wealthy self, not your current circumstances. When faced with any choice, ask, what would the wealthy version of me do? This person isn't desperate for immediate income. They think long-term. They invest in assets that appreciate over time rather than spending on things that depreciate. This identity shift changes how you evaluate everything. Instead of asking, how much does this cost? You ask, what's the return on investment? Instead of thinking, I can't afford this, you think, how can I structure this to cash flow positive? Instead of seeing expenses, you see potential tax deductions and business opportunities. The wealthy version of you understands that time is your most valuable asset, not money. Money can be replaced, time cannot. So this version of you invests in systems, automation, and passive income streams that buy back your time while generating wealth. This identity shift is the foundation every other wealth strategy builds on. Without it, you'll keep sabotaging your own progress no matter how many books you read or courses you take. Your brain will always pull you back to earning mode unless you deliberately rewire it for wealth creation. Start the disappearance process today by questioning every earning thought that crosses your mind. When you think about making more money, ask yourself if you're thinking like an earner or a wealth creator. Choose the wealth creator response every single time, even when it feels uncomfortable. Subscribe for the advanced wealth identity techniques that accelerate this transformation.